To his left, pulls up for three. Absolutely. Down the lane, get inside. How did he hit that layup?
You know what, I grew up playing soccer and hockey and all the sports that Canadian kids grew up playing. The last sport I played actually was basketball, and started playing because I went to a new school in grade 8, and all the jocks, all the athletes were playing basketball. And I wanted to be with my friends at school, playing out before school, lunchtime, after school. And so really I started playing basketball for social reasons. I've always been a big fan of the game. I always loved to play and was a good player as a kid, but you know, my friends didn't play, and I wanted to be with my friends. And ultimately, you know, instead of moving to the UK and living with an aunt and trying it as a 12 or 13-year-old, I wanted to stay home and play with my friends, and basketball was the route. My childhood playing soccer and being so passionate about the game, and having a father that played soccer and understood the finer points of the game and the nuances and the subtleties was pivotal. So when you go to basketball, I think a lot of kids growing up playing basketball, they don't think like that. They have the ball, then they survey. Whereas I think it gave me an advantage to already have seen thousands of angles and decisions and players moving and reading defenses on the soccer field. I think it was really pivotal in my ability to play and be a playmaker in basketball.
If he gets this, it's going to be crazy. I like this. Oh, he got it.
I follow football more. You know, even when I was playing basketball, you know, I was obsessive about being the best player I could be, but I really like to get away from the game when I wasn't playing. So when I'd go home, I'd watch football, and I'd find inspiration in it as well. You know, it inspired me to see players of a different sport perform at the highest level. So it kind of gave me a boost to be the best that I could be at my sport, and it also allowed me to get away from my sport a little bit when I was at home. When we found Mallorca, you know, it was a reasonably priced team that had a great history on a beautiful island, that had a good youth setup, and that I think had been, you know, undermanaged, so to speak, for the last decade or so. So it was an opportunity where we could bring a lot to the table and help improve the club, not only with some capital, but with our best practices that we, you know, marketing and sporting-wise from the NBA. We have to gain their trust, and I think a lot of times they're worried about a horror story of you know, an American group coming in and buying a soccer team only to want to develop hotels or condominiums, and that's not our goal. We love the sport. We have fallen in love with the history of the club and the fans and the island and the uniqueness of the Balearics, and we're thrilled to be a part of it and hopefully leave it in a much better place than we found it one day, hopefully, you know, many years from now. This isn't a flip for us. This is something that we're passionate about. We want to see succeed.